getting children from there to the northeast. Next. This is something new we started again this year. We've picked up 30 bright children from Manipur, from Arunachal, from Nagaland, from very remote areas. We are coaching them for IIT and medical college. And Nagaland is already a success story. Out of the 30 we picked up, 10 of them have already cleared various competitive exams. Next, women empowerment. This is what we are doing for our Mahila soldiers. Next, honors and awards, large number of them. Next, you all are aware of what's happened in Myanmar. These are the timelines, various things happened. Next, the implications for us, whether it is in terms of security, humanitarian, or refugee influx. All of these are being handled, but going forward, this you all are aware of the free move regime, though it is not in as many numbers, but yet, like I said, refugee problem is there. Next, but the implications of that, go back, implications of that, particularly keeping in mind what's happening in Myanmar is, like I said, it's going to be bad unless we formalize this in terms of the border passes, which are still sticking. If you look at the top blue slide, blue block, the last point is we've recommended 43 entry-exit points. It's gone from our side. It's awaiting approval from Myanmar side. Next. And before I finish, this is what we think are the ways, is the way ahead. Most important here is the role of the civil society. Unless it dawns on the civil society to address all the issues that are besieging us, we will not be able to handle it. Contraband, clearly I said, you would know of a smart fence which you must have read in the media. There is a plan in place where smart fence is going to come along, at least 3 states for sure, Arunachal, Manipur and Nagaland. There's a multi-agency coordination also that is happening for that. And finally, of course, if we have to look at peace, we also have to look at more recruitment from here into the forces. Next, that would be all. I would finish, and I think at the end of the session, we would be able to take on questions. Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, General Nair, for literally 2 centuries coverage. And what really emerges from what we hear from General Nair is the increasing involvement of the Assam Rifles in what normally would seem like social development work. Why? Because invariably the absence of social development is giving rise to crime, to terror, to drug trafficking, to weapon trafficking. So all of it actually are issues which only go on to reinforce what we heard in the sessions before lunch. While all things look very positive, very forward-looking, but the situation is still fragile. And so therefore, I mean, it needs to be sustained with care, and I'm very sure we'll hear more on this from Jaideep Saikia a little later. May I now request Mr. Anshul Gupta, General Manager of the North Eastern Frontier Railways, to give us his talk.
Thank you. General Kalita, General Saha, General Nair, General Panchnathan, Mr. Jaideep Saikia, all the esteemed delegates present here, my colleagues from railways and other organizations. Today, I just sharing a few the areas where the railways have made a lot of difference and have been able to make or lead northeastern India to path of great development, I think, which is a precursor for a 5 trillion economy, which on the way Prime Minister is also asking us that everybody has to work together to achieve that dream of 5 trillion economy. As you know that the railway journey northeast, it started from 1881, the Sadia railway line, which started operating from Dibrugarh to Makhum. And incidentally, railways was also responsible for the discovery of oil in the country, the Digboi. 1868, when the area was being dug for laying of a track, and accidentally the oil was discovered, as you can see in the oil museum at Digboi also. So you can say that it's the precursor of development, which the role which railway is likely to play and has played so far in the development of Northeastern Railway, Northeastern area. Northeast Frontier Railway was established in 1958. I think at the time there was a requirement, especially the strategic requirements of the country when this railway was set up, splitting Northeastern Railway, and a new railway of Northeast Frontier Railway was formed with a headquarter at Guwahati. And that was also the time when Indo-China War started, and the Saraighat Bridge was the first major work which railways did, and followed by the connectivity in the Chicken Neck area and other things. That's how the journey of NF Railway started in Northeastern Railway. And over the years, we have you can say, grown up from a railway where trains used to run at 30 kmph to 110, and now we are building railway lines where the trains, very soon the trains will run at 160 kmph. The works are already going on. All the new lines which we are building, they are fit for 130 kmph now. The railways in NF Railway earlier used to run only in plains or the crossing rivers, but now we are reaching across hills, we are crossing valleys, we are reaching higher mountains, and the days are not far off when the frontier areas like Tabang and Nathula will also get connected through railways. That's the dream, and that's the projects which currently NF Railway is working on, and very soon we see all these things happening. We had steam age to diesel age to electric, and now even the hydrogen trains are not far off, and NF Railway will also have share of this hydrogen trains running on our network. That's the new development area which we are thinking of. Wooden coaches replaced by ICF coaches, then LHB coaches, and now the train sets Vande Bharat. Already we have plans for running in the second phase 5 Vande Bharat trains on NF Railway. So it's the way the development is taking place on the railway. We also have Darjeeling Himalayan Railways, which is, I think, best maintained World Heritage Railway system across the world as on date. And you may be surprised to know that this is the only railway system which has become operationally profitable. But this year, because of the new services, new tourism initiatives which Indian Railways and NF Railways have taken, it has become highly profitable, and this shows that the railways can help in improving tourism in all the areas where railways work, or railways work closely with the local authorities. That's how we are working towards. The bridges, I must mention about the 3 bridges which railways built. The Saraighat Bridge, which is in the Guwahati, the Navnarayan Setu, which was built in 1998. Then more recently, Bogeyville, which is longest rail cum road bridge of Indian Railways, nearly 10 kilometers long, which was completed in 2017. And a number of long bridges are now coming up across Northeastern Frontier. When we reach to new areas, we connect new cities, we reach to various state capitals of Northeastern India. Similarly, the bridges, the world's largest pier bridge, that is also coming up on Imphal line. And there are many bridges which will be as high as 140 meters, 130 meter pier bridges. So this is the development things which in the field of the infrastructure which railways is creating. And when we talk of going to new areas, connecting new cities, new state capitals, our target is that by December 2023, we should be able to connect most of the state capitals in northeastern states. Aizawl, the Sairang station, which is coming up, we will be completing the project of this Mizoram line by December 2023. Similarly, Imphal line will be completed by December 2023. Sikkim, Rangpo will be completed by December 2023. Gangtok survey has already been done, and the line is again, as soon as the work is taken up, it will take 2 years further, and the further the line will get extended to Nathula. Similarly, the connectivity to Shillong, this is a bit delayed because of some political issues, which we are again trying to resolve so that this Meghalaya connectivity also gets through. Itanagar and Agartala is already connected. So this is the overall growth story of the railways which we are working towards. But when we work towards infrastructure development, what impact it has on the area, on the country as a whole. Of late, wherever the railway system has come up, we have seen a lot impacting all the railway lines, impacting economic, social, and cultural fields in the area which we have gone. It has been economic and tourism boosters. The average income of those areas have shooted like anything. New industries have come up. Maybe they are the small scale or medium scale, and soon there are a lot of proposals where the industry wants to set up heavy industries also. Powerhouses, which used to be micro powerhouses, you see even the large size powerhouses now are getting built up. It has created a huge social impact on the entire ecosystem of northeastern India. Apart from having these you can say social, economic, or political impact, the most important thing is, as General Saha also asked, that we have a diverse cultural, tribal groups. How railways is able to, all the organizations which are working, they are seeing it as an opportunity. So railways is seeing this as an opportunities because every area has a huge tourism potential, and wherever we are building new lines and new stations, all these important points and stations we are developing as a cultural hub or a tourism center. So the concept of world-class stations, it is also taking shape, and we have 11 stations which will get converted into world-class stations where the space will be there for everybody, whether a person interested in culture, local art, or even the health services will be there. Even we have decided that even the MCOs for army personnel, they will be sufficient, and world-class facilities we are setting up as per requirement. So these stations, we may call it world-class, but this will be a top class as per our requirement, our needs. Similarly, when we talk of 5 trillion economy, the role of Northeast has become paramount because this is the gateway to the Southeast Asia. So even the connectivity to the Southeast Asia is another focus area for us. And a lot of projects are now in progress. The Bangladesh connectivity, or Nepal, or Bhutan, or up to the border of Myanmar, or the border front areas, the China, all these projects, the surveys has been done. The work on Imphal to More survey is near completion. Similarly, beyond Aizawl up to the border where the Kaladan project is going on, that survey has also been completed. For Bangladesh connectivity from Agartala to Akhora, the line is nearly complete. From Karimganj to Shehbazpur in Bangladesh, the connectivities are again near completion. The Nepal connectivity up to the second largest city of the Nepal, it is also near completion. Bhutan from Kokrajhar to Galupu, the survey we have taken in hand, and we expect that once the survey is completed, this line up to inside the Bhutan will be able to complete. apart from these connectivities, we are also working on creating standalone railway systems, especially for the defense and other strategic requirements. Like we have a national network, then some highway, and then connecting all the advanced and front locations. We have made certain proposals, and we will be sharing with the Eastern Command also once it is through with the NHAI and other organizations, so that we have standalone systems using PM Gati Shakti, so that the movement, any type of mobility required by any strategic needs, there is no need to worry that how fast we can move or not move. As in the previous presentation, especially for many of the anti-social and anti-national activities, as the Assam Rifles is doing wonderful job, Railways is also creating a, you can say, artificial intelligence based surveillance system covering all the trains and all the stations, which will be integrated into single network. So, and stations will also be provided with the most modern scanning system as well, especially the front stations, so that any element which is not wanted comes to a station or boards a train, he is detected immediately, and then this information is passed on to the other organizations in that area. That system work is already taken in hand, and especially this is very important for our stations which are near to the border. The AI-based systems is very, very important, especially to take care of the incident which can take care of situations like unfortunate event which took place at Tupul. So that also we have started working closely with the new organizations, new startups, and soon we will have an alert system where even a few millimeters of movement of hill or any bank, or you can say slope, will be detected by our system, and the alerts will be generated and conveyed to all the people nearby or the control centers of different organizations. So this work will again be taken up in next 6 months. A similar system we have already installed on a few sections of elephant corridors on railway network, and it has been highly successful. We have been able to save lives of hundreds of elephants, and I think a few days back, lives of 25 elephants were also saved using the same system. So these are few areas where railways is working. Apart from there, in the social areas, we are running 15 schools, around 50 hospitals, 8 cultural centers. We are also running 10 institutes where Rail Kaushal Vikas Yojanas is running, and already we have trained nearly, I think, more than 1,000 local boys and girls in the trade practices which are followed on Indian Railways, and we hope that once this goes on across all the states, there will be enough workforce available in northeastern India. We are currently on our projects. The people from 23 states, they are currently working, and we hope that with these initiatives of Indian Railways, the objective of NF Railway of creating a society or a state which is economically, socially, politically very prosperous takes place and happens. Thank you very much for giving me this opportunity to share my ideas. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. Anshul Gupta, again for a very nice talk. And quite interestingly, how you also highlight the social development work that the railways are doing. I must also thank General Panchanathan because for giving me the chance to physically meet Mr. Anshul. Before this, we met only on video conferences. I was chairing a committee on strategic railways, in which we were considering some railway lines for various parts of the country. Let me just mention in this forum, suffice to say that 3 out of the top 4 priority railway lines are in the Northeast. So that shows the kind of impact that railways is making. The other interesting point, you heard in the morning from, I think, Shopan Dada, who had brought out how once upon a time Arunachal Pradesh, what we now know as Arunachal Pradesh, was governed by the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. You heard that in the morning. And now, as you heard him speak, you could surely get this sense of how no longer for a region like the Northeast is the government allowing ministries or departments to work in silos. I mean, the railways has to work with the Ministry of Defense. Together, they have to work with the Ministry of External Affairs. I think that came out very clearly from your talk, that how as a nation, we have been able to come out of that, very, very ministerial silos to work together as one government, one country, and so on. So on that note, I now turn to Mr. Jaideep Saikia, who as his designation states, conflict analyst. So I'm very sure he will have not as much good news as we got in the first two presentations, but it's okay. Sometimes it's good to be tempered by reality. So it's over to you, Jaideep.
और इसी के साथ नॉर्थ ईस्ट सप्ताह में फिलहाल के लिए इतना ही। बने रहिए नॉर्थ ईस्ट लाइव के साथ।